Hey everybody, haven't made a video in a little while, and you can see here that this page that I'm using is just a bunch of my self-reflections. I was looking at how to conquer sloth and acedia, and then I started reading this book from St. Teresa of Avila called The Interior Castle, where she talks about the depth of prayer and finding God within yourself. And I went back to my model of basically solving life, using science, and I kind of derived moral good and evil using science, and then I sort of changed it a little bit. And um, what happens when you do enter the interior castle and unite yourself with God, that all of a sudden the machine that you are has the source of life in you. So all these are just like kind of weird musings, and maybe it doesn't make any sense to you. Maybe it doesn't make any sense to you, but it makes sense to me. And if any of you are following, I'm gonna try to simplify this. So there's two things that I want to focus on. I feel that one of my friends talked to me and he said there's something off about the way I explore my faith, the way I've been going about my faith journey. And I realized that I have not been obeying the first commandment, which is, I am the Lord your God. You shall not have any other gods before me. And I'm not like, polytheistic, believing in Zeus and Odin or whatever. But an idol would be anything not of God that you consider more important than God. And there are things that I prioritize more than him. In the past, it was my addictions to gaming, and even now, it's like sometimes there are certain relationships in my life that I consider more important than God. Certain activities, certain desires and quests in life, and my career. Sometimes I find myself putting them first, but it's God that comes first. And the second thing I want to think about is that God is love. That's really talked about in St. Paul's epistles and the Gospel of John, that God is love. And I shall have no other gods besides love. And God also describes himself as I am. And so the what's encompassed in all of being and all of existence is love. So I'm gonna so one of my big problems, of course, like I said, is my career. And what I'm learning is that there are many paths I can take in my career right now, like many paths. And any one of them could really do well. Um, but it's not the career itself, it's the love that I imbue into it. Because all of them I've sort of, I guess, half-assed or taken the path of least resistance. In my whole past, I've been just trying to do that, just trying to avoid the pain. But love comes with pain and suffering. So, Jesus said, the greatest love is to lay down one's life for one's friends. And have I ever really accepted the pain and death of really loving? So I'm going to list down like my options right now, because there's a lot. So there's my main job as an art teacher. There's so I sub work, so subbing right now. So if let's say I really enjoy teaching at actual schools, and then I choose a career in education. So I sub with Scoot Education, and then also local school district. Okay. So I do sub work. This one doesn't pay very well. This one pays really well, but they sort of send you to challenging schools. I do Uber. And can you take that off as a career? I don't really know. I mean, if you really enjoy driving and meeting people, I guess you can. I only do deliveries, but if I get a car inspection, I can start driving people, and I know you can get pretty consistent work with that. Uber gives a lot of benefits if you like really dive into their service. Like just all sorts of benefits. There's like the Uber Gold level or whatever. Another one, YouTube and Twitch. So those are like content channels, which I've tried to sort of take off before, but in all of these, there's like a game to play, right? In all of them, so if I were to, this would be laterally, even though it's a vertical line. If I were to expand laterally, like doing all these things, this is just me trying to be adaptable and find different types of work. But in any one of them, if I find them enjoyable or if I find I have some level of success in it, I can try to optimize. And what I've learned with content channels is that like maybe my personality is not quite competitive or not quite kind of dog eat dog enough to succeed in these platforms, but maybe it is. I don't know. Um, with YouTube, like one of my weaknesses is I don't like editing. I'm not a huge presentation guy. I just like talking. That makes me a better streamer, but I'm not like crazy social on Twitch, so that's a weakness as well. But again, in any of these things, I can address my weaknesses and try to optimize within that game. Each of these is sort of a game in a way. What else? So I have an interview with Apple today. So for those of you who pray, keep in your thoughts and prayers. I really want to do this. And then we have freelance work. Um, and that is animation illustration, which I've been doing since 2016. So any one of these can be mastered, and I can still expand laterally to like other things I might be interested in, like home care, gardening, cooking. Like these are all things that as a husband and father, I've tried to get better at, but did not have enough love to succeed in these things. And as a result, my and as a result of addiction and everything, my family has suffered. So gardening, home care, cooking. I've been enjoying cooking lately. And even in any one of these things can become a career as well. Like there's a skill, and these skills are goods, goods and services needed in life. Um, and it's hard to know which one it is that's going to be like, should I judge on how much money it makes? Should I just bank on that? Like for example, this one, I had a job with them yesterday with Scoot Education. I did sub work at a school, and it seemed like there was a lot of low income families there, and the place was a little bit disorganized. And I know that Scoot will send me to a bunch of different schools, and maybe a lot of them will have different conditions, but that one pays the best out of all of these so far. And I really did not enjoy myself when I went out, but I saw a need. I saw there was a need with these kids, that they needed some kind of organization and they needed some kind of love and care in their education. And some kid walking next to me, he got in trouble for no reason, and he was like, "I effing hate this school," and I was like, "This," and throughout the day, he was calling me by name and just running around and playing, and I'm like, "This is a good kid, and this kid deserves a education, an educational environment where people care." So in any of these situations that I put myself in for work, I can have love. I can have a lot of love. And so for any of these, the foundation then needs to be love. They say the greatest business is the greatest service. I truly believe that, and I just need to go into any of these with a heart of service, with a heart of love. And love means, again, self-sacrifice, giving, to lay down my life for my friends. And the people I serve, if I call them friend, as Jesus called me friend, I believe that a lot of good fruit can come out of it, and that people will come out of feeling served and feeling loved. So this is kind of what all my self musings have been leading me to, because for me there's kind of another part to this, because I'm gonna talk about the word intelligence. So this is something I had focused on my whole life, because you can listen to Dr. Michael Levin, who loves talking about intelligence and what it is. Intelligence is the capability of a system to solve problems in order to reach a goal. And I've focused on this my whole life, and I know all these things about the world, and I reflect and I think all about these solving problems and all that. But knowing is half the battle. They say knowing is half the battle. Um, maybe it is, and maybe I kind of got that part unlocked, but really the love is the battle. That is the battle. It's when you go in, can you do things with a heart of service, that you can use your intelligence or your body or anything at your disposal to love, to give to others, rather than gain for myself and take. Because all of these feed back into me. These are jobs, and all of them I'm going to get paid for, and I can do them securely, knowing that. But in any of these, can I give more than I receive, and can I live with that? Because I made a video before about it is in giving that we receive, that prayer of Saint Francis, and I need to do that at work in any of these opportunities. And that's kind of what these reflections have been leading me to. So that's all for the video that I wanted to share. And I'll talk to you guys soon in another video. If you have any questions, or if you want me to go back to art content, please give me specific questions. Specific questions really help me in getting video ideas. Thank you guys. Bye bye.